It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. Bird's word. What's good, everybody? Happy hump day. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? How do? My level's a little weird in my ear, but we'll make it work. So we good on the sound, we good on the visual. We got, a bit to cover today. All right. Well, I know it's like I hate this delay on YouTube. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Hope all is good. Hope you can hear me because I'm a soldier forward. I sound a little low. It's all the way up. Anyway, let's turn those off because you just make it a point to get on my nerves. Let's start with this. Let's start with our favorite Congresswoman running for Senate. All right. So Jasmine Crockett, she now has to answer for some of the things she said in the past. And, she's been moonwalking and press boxing and kickboxing her way out of everything. And, when you disrespect a large voter bloc in the state of Texas, a la Latinos, it might come back to bite you on the ass one day. Take a look.
Let me tell you, let me ask you about a quote that you've made that has some Democrats worried about your ability to win statewide. In a December 2024 Vanity Fair profile, you talked about, quote, and I'm going to read a lot of the quote just to put it in the context, quote, all the complexities within the Latino community. The immigration thing has always been something that has perplexed me about this community. It's basically like, I fought to get here, but I left y'all where I left y'all, and I want no more y'all to come here. If I wanted to be with y'all, I would stay with y'all, but I don't want y'all coming to my new home. It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. It's almost like a slave mentality that they have. Now, about the time that was published last year, around 1 million Latino voters in Texas were voting for Trump. Do they all have slave mentality?
No, and that's not what that said at all.
It's BS. We made it up. Not true. Not true. What are you talking about? He only read your damn words. Like, how can you take that out of context? How? It wasn't said flippantly. It wasn't said jokingly. It wasn't like you were roasting somebody. This was what you felt and what you meant, right, Jasmine? Okay, keep moonwalking.
Oh, be clear. It did not say that every Latino has that.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's not what he said, Jasmine. He didn't say every Latino. He made it clear on which type of Latino he was talking about. He made that very, very clear. The Trump voter, the ones that did it the right way, the ones that don't respect illegal immigration. It's kind of like going to become a medical doctor and you do all of that damn work. And somebody walks in and uses Chat GPT to get their degree. Yeah, it's like that, right? It's like, yeah, you would be pissed. So it's not that you don't want other people to be doctors. You just want them to earn it the way you did. Right. So stop playing with us, Jasmine.
Type of mentality.
No, but slave,
It's like slave mentality. How can you mix that up, Jasmine? Slave mentality. We all know what you mean by that. We all know what you mean by that.
Ones that vote for people
No,
who believe in strong or Trump's immigration policies.
So I don't believe that the people that voted for Trump believe in what they're actually getting. That is number one.
What Trump said he was going to do, he's doing. I mean, I don't know what else you want from us. What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Trump said is that he was going to kick out the bad guys.
No. Trump said he was going to kick out the bad guys first. That's what Trump said. He never said he wasn't going to go get Esmeralda, who decided to sit here for 20 years. That's not what he said. He's going to get the bad guys first. Jasmine.
And that's what I was talking about. I've been down to the border. I've been down to South Texas. I've campaigned down there.
I haven't been to Europe. Oh, God, this just gets better and better.
And so I am talking about exactly what was going on when I was down there on behalf of the Beto campaign. In fact, when he was running for governor, I was sent as a surrogate. And I said, talk to me about what is going on. Why is it that they believe that they can win Latinos down here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And there were people that were saying that they had fought and they had done everything the right way, and that there were bad people that were coming that were doing it the wrong way. And so they were saying, no, we left. And I mean, when you think about people.
You see how she didn't even address the question? She didn't even address the question. She literally remixed, flip-flopped, and moved the goalpost. And Jake is not going to push back because he's scared. Y'all need
that are leaving asylum. They are leaving areas and situations that they feel like are harmful to them. So yes, they're like, no, I don't want to be in this dangerous situation. And that's what I meant. But at the same
if you believe that, you're a fool. If you really believe that that woman when Jake read the quote that's what she meant, you're a fool.
time, I knew what Trump meant.
Oh yeah, because I'm running against Trump here. Trump. Could you imagine waking up every day, just Trump is on your mind? Oh, Trump, I wonder what he had for breakfast. Oh, Trump.
Because Trump had a record. Trump had a record of locking up kids and putting them in cages.
All right, so her team immediately grabbed her by the wig when she was done with this interview and said, actually, Miss Congresswoman Crockett, Obama put the kids in the cages, so we might not want to use that talking point ever again.
So I knew what Trump meant. And so that's why
all Trump did was continue Obama's policies. That's all he did with regard to the kids in the cages. That's all he did with regard to them. That's all he did.
It wasn't making sense to me. And ultimately right now, I just came from a joint hearing that we were having on the Senate side. It's the Senate as well as the House. The first time I've had a joint hearing ever since I have been in the House. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to Latino American citizens that have been arrested by this regime. Some of those people may have voted for Trump. I don't know. But they agree that what he's doing now is wrong.
First of all, if you're detained, they know very quickly. They know very quickly. So being detained doesn't mean you're getting deported. If your paperwork is straight, you ain't got nothing to worry about. So please stop the emotion, the plea to emotion. Please stop it.
And it's about right versus wrong.
Yeah, and you're wrong.
And not right versus left.
It is about right. Isn't your whole crux of your campaign is to turn Texas blue? So yeah, it is right versus left. What are we talking about here? What are we doing?
And he sold them a bag of goods.
No, he sold them exactly what he said he was going to do. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
And I knew that that's what he was selling because I knew his record.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're
All right, Jasmine Crockett, we'll leave it there, but we know.
punk. What a punk. Jake is a punk. Didn't he write that book about the Biden White House? Wasn't it him who wrote that book? That was him, right? And the other dude. I think it was him. Anyway. Okay. Good luck, Congresswoman. I'm sure we'll be talking about you 50,000 more times between now and the midterm elections. So good luck. But don't ever bring up that kids in cages thing again, because it's not good. It's not good. It's not a good approach. Anyway, so I feel like I'm in an episode of The Young and the Restless. I was going to call this episode The Conservatives and the Restless, but it didn't quite have the same ring to it. And then I looked up The Young and the Restless, like the soap opera. I looked up the show's logo, and it didn't quite work with the graphic, so I didn't really like it. But I do feel like I'm in a conservative soap opera, and everybody has lost their damn minds at this point. And we're not focused. We're conservatives aren't focused. The Republican Party is not focused. We literally, Miami elected their first Democrat mayor in almost 30 years. Y'all better wake the hell up. Y'all better wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Don't know what I'm gonna make up. I don't want to fade away. I don't want to fade away. That's what y'all better do right now. Right now. Cause this ain't looking good for y'all. These midterms about to be, y'all about to get washed in these midterms if y'all keep up this dog mess. And if y'all get this woman in the Senate and I have to eat pork bacon, I can't even say that with a straight face. I was gonna say I'm gonna become a blue-haired liberal, but I'll do something. I'll do something. Anyway, so let's try to unpack the latest episode of The Young and the Restless, aka The Conservatives and the Restless, aka Candace Owens, Tim Pool, Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk. And you know, it's a sad, sad day when I've agreed with Nick Fuentes about 4 times. It's a very, very sad day when AJ has to give props to Nick Fuentes for being accurate. But we'll get there in a moment. So let's start with Tim Pool. Oh, Jesus. So actually, before we even do that, I have to acknowledge that today is exactly 3 months that Charlie Kirk was assassinated before our eyes. So today is 3 months. And that's crazy to me. And in the last 3 months, we have seen the ultimate civil war within the social media conservative movement, which is probably the largest, most visible faction of the conservative movement. And it's really annoying, I have to say. It's really, really annoying to see people yelling and screaming and calling each other CUNTs and all types of crazy stuff. It's a bit crazy right now. But I think we'll get it together. We need time, and we don't have a lot of time, but we need a little bit of time. But so Tim Pool and Candace Owens getting into a kerfuffle because apparently Tim Pool said something about Candace Owens, and Candace Owens put him on a thumbnail for one of her episodes. I stopped watching the show. I don't watch anymore, but put him on a thumbnail, and he became irate. And then Tim Pool was like, "Oh, I'm probably not gonna have a show after the 19th of December." Because the overhead for the show is more than what he's bringing in, and so essentially, it's a failing business, and so we'll figure it out. Hopefully he gets some funders, some backers, and he doesn't have to quit. I've never watched the show, so I don't really know it, but but he was pretty hot with Candace for putting him on a thumbnail and saying he lost some support from folks. But here's Candace responding to Tim's exchange, and then we'll get into some things.
As you power, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors shouldn't give two no one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the am I even supposed to sell this property?
So there's a lot to unpack there. First and foremost, what you are seeing right there is not a display of testosterone. Men that speak to women like this are not tough guys.
I agree to a degree. I agree with Tim's frustration, but I also agree with Candace on this part. There's a way to handle it, especially at that level. There's a way to handle it. And going off the rails and it doesn't quite land the way you need it to land, Tim. So in addressing people, because it's essentially giving her the bait. Like you're literally you're feeding the beast, right? By doing that, right? Now, if you did it in a civil manner and you never called her a see you next Tuesday and all these other names, she would have not a lot to work with there, right? But you gave her the ammunition. So was this to trump up the drama? Because you're the main one talking about let's get together, and we got to get together for the midterms. And if the goal is for you to get conservatives to put this crap to the side so we can actually focus on what's important, then this doesn't support your claim, sir.
Okay, what you are seeing is actually a display of estrogen. Everything he is doing there is somebody who is not a man. He is not tough, and he would never dare to speak to a man like that.
You gave the rabbit the gun, and what do you think a rabbit like Candace is going to do? She's going to use it. Don't give her the ammunition. And I get the what's behind your frustration, but there's a way to express it, and that was just not the way to do it, Tim.
Right, people that find that very easy. Secondly, Tim Pool doesn't even have the intellect to understand that we put him in the thumbnail because he accused me in a full episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, which we showed and contextualized, of being someone who benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination.
So let's see what the history tells us. I'm, again, not a personal attack. This is just facts. Since September 11th, has there been one thumbnail on her YouTube channel that has not involved Charlie Kirk? Every single one of them has. Every episode has been about Charlie Kirk. So you have benefited from Charlie Kirk being assassinated. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No. But it is a problem when you deny it. Yeah, you've benefited. Many people have benefited from the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And to sit here and deny it is just, a little ridiculous to me. But yeah, you benefited, Candace. You have. I mean, who you've gained almost 2 million new subs. That's a benefit. Solely by theorizing, and asking questions. Allegedly.
So he thinks he's being accused. No, you accused me of that.
Well, Tim is benefiting as well.
In like a actually, I think it was 2-hour episode with Milo Yiannopoulos, in which Milo defended me and explained that I am not to blame for the lame excuses that the feds have given us regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination, and that if we do need to have some spiritual searching in terms of what the Republican Party has become, that the time for that is now. Okay. So this little, and I really like, he's a small person for this. a very small person who is also theatrical, Timothy Smollett, who pretends every year like people are trying to kill him. He's a chronic fence sitter, okay? Pretending like he is braving the wilderness for being what? The 110,000 person who's making a video about Candace Owens.
Did she say Timmy Smollett? Did she say Timmy Smollett? I like that, Candace. I like that one. Not Timmy Smollett. Listen, I don't know much about Tim Pool. Again, he's not, I don't follow his podcast or anything like that, but I do know he's not a Republican on paper. Like, he's not a registered Republican, but I do believe he considers himself conservative, and he's sort of a fence rider, right? And the problem with fence riders is they want to please everybody, and you can't. And then it drives you crazy, right? So pick a side. You can pick a side and still respect somebody else with a different belief system. You can do it. It's absolutely doable.
In the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination, he thinks he's pioneering that. Are you out of your mind? It's only the safest thing you can do. What's next? Is he going to make a video and call Kanye West anti-Semitic?
Oh boy.
Like that's what he's pioneering right now. Oh my gosh, so original. Like, is he going to call Donald Trump evil in 2016? This is the storm that he's braving, is jumping on the side of what everyone else is doing.
Candace, let me be clear. Talking about you or asking any type of question about you is not easy because of your cult. See, there's a difference between people who support you and people who worship you. And I made this very clear weeks ago that there's a difference between liking somebody's content, liking what they have to say or whatever, understanding, that she's probing the situation just to make sure nothing nefarious is going on. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you start crossing a line and then you start changing directions and sending people down rabbit holes with your anonymous sources. And so, yeah.
He is a fundamentally weak man for what he did there. He should apologize. He won't. I don't care.
No, he shouldn't apologize. Yeah, he should apologize. But what would be the point of apologizing? You're not going to apologize. So why should he?
What happens to his platform? He's now essentially trying out, because he's under financial pressure. He's trying out for a Zionist to pay him, and they will. Okay, they will cut him a check, and I hope that happens for you, Tim. I hope it makes you happy.
Ouch. Really? The Zionists? We still on that? We still on the Zionists are cutting checks for people? The Israel cutting $7,000 checks. How much is Qatar paying? I know Tucker Carlson he went to Qatar, right? He's going to Qatar, or he's there already.
But to do that to someone who has never done anything to you other than disagree with you about the Charlie Kirk narrative, I have not focused my content on you, and anytime your name has come up, it has been because you have explicitly been attacking me. You are a coward. You are less than a man. Okay? You are behaving. Your type right there is like a person who's having financial issues and yet decides to go out and put 100K on a poker game. And when he loses and is a further 100K in the hole, comes back home and beats his wife and kids. Thinks he's a tough guy. That's how you're acting right now.
Wow. Never hand your balls over to a woman like this. I'm just saying.
I'm not your wife. I'm not your kids. Get your affairs in order and stop blaming me, because I'm actually traversing down the path that hasn't been traveled by standing up and saying that something corrupt happened and Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't care about your midterms, okay? I don't care about your next year midterms and whether or not the Republican Party is united, okay? Because I don't want to stand next to people that would cover up Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Okay. I agree with part of what she said at the end there, but at the same time, if you're not going to, then what are you? You can't be a fence rider at this point. You can't be politically ambiguous and only focus on Charlie Kirk's murder, which just because somebody doesn't believe you doesn't mean they believe the government either, right? That's not what's being said here. There's some side eye. Yeah, absolute side eye with some of the things the government has presented. But I also understand that this was an ongoing investigation. I also have watched enough 48 Hours and First 48 and Snapped and other kill 'em, shoot 'em up shows to know that when they're knee deep in an investigation, they are very clear about what to share and not share with the public. I'll give you a case in point about a time where someone almost ruined a case. Well, damn near ruined it. Richard Ramirez, remember the Night Stalker? And so I recently watched the documentary on him, and there was one through line through most of the crime scenes was this print. This was very specific. I think it was a Puma. It was a rare Puma sneaker that the stalker was wearing. And the problem was that the murders were happening in two jurisdictions, so LA and San Francisco. So you have these two different jurisdictions dealing with the murders differently in different ways. And so LA shared that information with San Francisco. And the mayor of San Francisco at the time, Dianne Feinstein, went on national television and said, yeah, the shoe print. They didn't want the public to know that because they didn't want to tip the killer off. And you tip the killer off. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that's not going to be given to us up front. Right? There's just not. That's just how investigations work. But the part on the Republican Party, y'all need to get unified like yesterday. Like I said a few minutes ago, Miami the mayor of Miami, Democrat, first time in almost 30 years. Yeah, if that isn't, and then the Republican was Trump. So that just goes to show that foolproof. Obviously, you're not going to win every time, but you also can't sit up there and just think you're going to coast to victory on the Trump name, right? You still got to work for it. You still got to fight for it. So yeah, if you're not a political commentator anymore, just let us know, Candace, so we can stop supporting you, because I'm not going to support Charlie Kirk theories for the next 20 years. Like I don't care. But we also know you have a history of monkey barring from career to career, job to job based on who's going to pay you the most money. So I don't know what to believe at this point. But the history speaks for itself. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not saying, oh yeah, this is just my theory. I mean, the timeline speaks for itself. I mean, Blexit was just thrown into the trash. Blexit, yeah, we don't care about Blexit. Yeah. Gave it to Turning Point USA, and now it's Turning Point USA Rise. Didn't even know that till last Friday. That's crazy. I thought Blexit was still around. Anyway, Erika Kirk is on a book tour promoting her late husband's book. And I don't think this could have been any more clear who she was referencing. And not just Candace, but she was referencing several other people as well. But this is what I mean by the investigation is ongoing.
We have a trial coming up. Unfortunately, that trial is in a long time. What I want to be mindful of for people is that this was a murder. This is not something that, what I don't want to have happen is for this to taint the jury pool. I don't. I want my husband, I want justice for my husband more than any other person on the internet. Any other person in this world. That was my husband and the father to my kids. We will make sure, and we have been, turning over every single stone, going down every single lead. So when these people say, oh, they haven't talked about this or done that, how do you know? You're not in those meetings with the attorneys and the prosecutors. You have no idea. And why would we share that information with the internet to what? Then give the defense more stuff that's not true? Like, it's just, Erika, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the truth is the truth.
I mean, does it get any more solid than that? It's an ongoing investigation. We, the public, including Candace Owens and everybody else, we, the public, are not going to be privy to what they're building. We're not. And they're not obligated to share it with us. And it would be ridiculous to share it with us, right? Because ultimately in America, he has the right to a free and fair trial, right? He has the right to that. So we can't be like, well, we can't try him anywhere. So what do we do with him? You know? But yeah, he has a right. That's his constitutional right, no matter what he did, allegedly. You know, and if there are other factors in play that they're looking into, let them look into it. But you've let us know we're credible, Miss Owens, Farmer. You've let us know we're credible so far. It's not like you said, yeah, I have a source, and this source said that X, Y, and Z happened, and then you proved X, Y, and Z, and we were able to say that's compelling. But nothing's been compelling. Everything has been a theory or an idea or a dream or some sort of wackadoodle email from a person. It's sort of like we would believe anything at this point, right? So no, once I can't think critically, I'm gone. I'm not in a cult. I don't do cults. I ask too many damn questions to be in a cult. I've asked too many questions since I was able to talk. I've asked too many damn questions. So if I can't ask questions without being attacked, without being railroaded down into, oh, you're a fake MAGA, you're a fake conservative, you're not really good, then I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to be here. I got shit to do. There's a whole bunch of other things I could be doing. So let's be clear. Anyway, I'm with Erika on this. I'm with Erika. Erika's absolutely right here. It's an ongoing investigation. We cannot tell you everything we're unearthing. We have to find 12 men and women. A jury of this young man's peers. And that's going to be an uphill battle in and of itself, considering how massive this has been so far, right? I don't pity the state of the state of Utah. I don't pity anyone involved, you know. But we've all seen shows. We all know that investigations do this. That this is what is supposed to happen when you're doing an investigation like this. But if you're going to keep leading people nowhere and they're not going to ask you questions, or they can't ask you questions, because if they ask you questions, now you're being disloyal. You're being disloyal to me. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. So, I don't know if y'all know a YouTuber / conservative, Christian conservative named April Chapman, but I really like her content. I like her channel. She's spot on. And if you've ever, and she has a powerful testimony. If you ever want to hear her share part of her testimony, you can watch her interview on Ali Stuckey. Ali, her podcast. She did a I think like a 1 hour sit down with Ali Stuckey, and that was a great interview. So if you ever want to get to know April Chapman, just look up April Chapman, Ali Stuckey interview, and you can go subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. But anyway, April Chapman she worked with Blexit. She stopped working with Blexit after Candace Owens went after Kim Klacik. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was some time ago. And then Kim Klacik, I think, filed a lawsuit. I think that's what happened. Yeah, something like that. And I think the lawsuit got dismissed or something happened. Anyway, so she was done with Turning Point, well, with Blexit after that. And then Blexit soon after, I believe, was probably dissolved. If not, it had already been dissolved into TPUSA. But she had a great live stream yesterday. And I'm going to share a couple of clips from it, where she was very articulate in how cults are built, because she really wanted to make it, drawing parallels between cults of yesteryear and cults of today, and how that sort of works, and how cult leaders they love bomb you. They make you feel like you're you're the best and the most important, and they need you and they love you and they want the best for you, and then as soon as they reel you in, that's when the mask comes off. So yeah, that's kind of I feel like where we are a little bit with Miss Owens Farmer, but whatever. I don't know which one am I gonna do first. I'll do the one where she's talking about the cult, and then we'll do the one where she addresses the people of who follow Candace. So we'll do that one first.
I realized that mean girl behavior is a pattern. Candace's behavior follows the narcissistic cycle, love bomb movement, gain influence, create a whole lot of enemies, become the victim, demand your undying loyalty, burn a bridge, rebrand as persecuted, and then her followers, they mirror the same paranoia she creates. They sound like a bunch of broken records. They all parrot over and over again when the whole conversation emerged with her and TPUSA sitting down and facing, when she's like, okay, you face you're the accuser. Face these people and allow them to respond to you in person. Now, well, you couldn't have expected her to not homeschool the baby. You couldn't have expected her to leave the house when they're coming after her life. Well, you could have very easily met digitally. Everybody knows that anytime, any place includes the internet.
And let me be clear. I'm not talking about the casual Candace supporter. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who unfollow, unfriend, threaten, curse, yell, scream, call you names. Those are the people that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the average Candace Owens, chill person who can parse out what they like and what they don't like and still be a critical thinker. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about everything she says is the holy grail. Those are the people that I'm talking to. Right. So because for some reason you have to explain to conservatives what you mean, like they're liberals. Okay. So that's for those people. So if the shoe fits, steal it. If it hurts your feelings, you might need to re-examine your relationship with this social media influencer that you're sweating. You might want to do that. Because it's one thing to listen to somebody and say and take in their perspective. It's another to be like, everything you say is the holy grail. I love you. I love you. I love you. No. There's not a human being on this earth. Not one. Not a nail one that I would do that to. None. If I can't ask you a question, I can't support you. Now, here's April being very clear with the, what does she call them? Mommy sleuths. I didn't know what a mommy sleuth was until this live stream yesterday.
So many of you mommy sleuths have found yourself sinning. All because she baited you into do the very thing that your carnal heart desires, which is to be messy.
Ooh.
To gossip and talk about things that you have no knowledge or seen evidence of.
Damn.
And to throw shade toward a woman that you don't know, talking about it's in her eyes and, it's always the pretty ones. And the stuff that I've seen people say about Erika Kirk, I'm like, you shameful, low down, dirty people. I don't know about you.
Facts. I mean, it's in her eyes. What's in her eyes? Tears? I just find it, from the very beginning, I've said this, telling somebody how to grieve is just ridiculous. You can't tell somebody how to mourn someone. First of all, I hope to God I never have to lose somebody in a violent way, like in a murder type situation, or car accidents, tragic as well, but I mean where someone actually actively goes out of their way to take the person's life, like that person you love's life. I hope I never have to experience that ever in life. Hope I never have to. And then imagine all of the other things, because it happens like that, right? Your life has changed. Like you woke up that morning probably having a decent day, and then bam, my life from 3:42 p.m. will never be the same. You didn't think that your life from 3:42 p.m. that day was. I'm just making up a time, so don't be sitting up here. Hey, Charlie got shot exactly. Shut up. I'm talking to just. It's 3:42 p.m. was never going to be the same. Nobody woke up that day and said that. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to me today. I hope I live to see another day, but I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. Life is fickle, people. But I pray that I never have to experience a loss in that way, right? I've lost, but not in that way. And I don't know if I could. I don't know. Mentally, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I can handle that. Now, another thing about Miss Owens Farmer is the critiquing spiritual leaders, particularly pastors, who she believes is using the word to manipulate Charlie Kirk's Christian audience, right? That's what she believes. A lot of these people are doing. Now, I'm not saying that some of them aren't doing it, because I do know pastors that do that. And I can even say this about the Republican Party. The Republican Party will placate to the evangelical base. They will play to that part of the base really strong, kind of like Democrats do to black folks. So I'm gonna be clear. There's a little bit of that going on, but I don't know in the case of Turning Point if that's going on. But I'm talking about in terms of the politics of it all. But anyway, let's just watch this quick clip of Miss Owens Farmer and her contradiction.
The statement objectively feels to me like the manipulation of a Christian audience, right? They know Charlie's audience is Christian. And therefore, what they're selling to us is you should believe, you're a believer, right? As a Christian, you believe in miracles, right? Like you believe in Christ and the miracles that Jesus performed, right? As I was sitting through Mass, deciding, I guess what was on my mind to pray about, for whatever reason, got on my knees, and I was not expecting this to.
Who put the music on it? I mean, and you then use the very tactic you're critiquing them for using, like
This to come out, but I just focused my prayer on wanting something to be delivered to me, a piece of evidence that would help us put together the full picture of this assassination. And don't tell me why. I don't know what came over me, but maybe it was this intentional prayer. I said, I'm just gonna call him right now. 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes after this email hit my inbox, I was calling this person and I had no idea what it was going to lead to, whether it was going to be a totally insane person or whether or not it was going to be a very swiftly answered prayer. And it's legit. This is a legit story that I'm about to share with you. Well, then you should just believe this. There's something about that I don't like. I don't like that. I don't just, this was a miracle and that should just be the end and no more questions should be asked. The chances of me seeing this were basically slim to none, and it was the first email that was in my box and I just called you. And I feel God moving in that. I did not imagine they were just going to say that it was a miracle. Yes, the conservative base is filled with Christians. While getting that coffee, he runs into some soldiers. Again, this is just all God at this point. Feels to me like the manipulation of a Christian audience. I think that this is God operating. I really do. I think, bless this man. For the love of God, please send us an email. More tips at CandaceOwens.com. I know, I just thank God that I saw that email. If you were going to bring me to the argument that this truly was a miracle, it probably would not be in the midst of a circumstance where the feds are lying.
She has said Charlie's murder, quote, had to be approved by Charlie's friends, and then suggested those friends might have her murdered too for, quote, knowing the truth.
I never said that. Obviously, in the context that he put it in, we're going to need to hear the full sentence because you're trying to context it in a way that is just untrue. I just want to know why, Charlie. I want to know why the decision was made to murder Charlie Kirk, a decision that very clearly had to be approved by Charlie's friends. That's all I have. I want to know why. I think we deserve to know why. And instead, we're going to be sued. I guess, is this going to be the pathway forward? You're going to start murdering more people in broad daylight for knowing? Is that our consequence? Is that like the slave consequence? Is that like, catching a slave and cutting off their limbs? People have watched the show. They know exactly what I've said. And I tend to stand by what I've said. And I do stand by everything that I've said.
Nothing beats your own words, right? I mean, you can. Those are your words, though. Again, if I can't think critically about this, I'm not interested. Those are your words. They didn't make it up. But this is what happens when you throw so much stuff at the wall, right? You're just throwing stuff and you're like, you don't even remember what you said. Or you are simply choosing to be obtuse. You're gonna be obtuse here? Okay, we're gonna be crazy. Okay, cool. But this is what happens when you throw all these theories and questions and information at the wall, and people are like, yeah, okay, so what do I do with this? What do I do with this? You said you didn't say it, but you clearly said it. Now, here's the part where it gets really annoying for me. You have me in these streets, once again, agreeing with Nick Fuentes. I don't hate Nick Fuentes, but I'm no supporter of his either. And oftentimes I say he does say some very spot on things. But I often say he's the wrong messenger, right? Right message, wrong messenger, because it's not palatable to people outside of the people who worship Nick Fuentes, right? But Nick Fuentes made it very clear that if TPUSA fumbles this ball with their live stream next Monday, he's going to have to step in.
And I just can't wait for December 15th when Turning Point, they better bring their A game. They got a lot riding on this.
I agree.
And I'll say this much. I'm looking forward to the Turning Point live stream where they respond to everything. I plan on live streaming that. And depending on how they do, if they don't do a good enough job, I think I'm going to have to step up. And I think I'm going to have to expose Candace Owens for what she really is. I'm going to give them, they have the opportunity because they are involved in all this. But I am so frustrated with how people are handling it. They're losing. If Turning Point doesn't do a good enough job on December 15th, I'm going to have to step up. And just like I exposed Tucker Carlson, and just like I exposed J.D. Vance, I'm going to have to step up and I'm going to have to blow the lid and expose everything about Candace Owens.
Jeez.
And reveal who she really is, who her husband is, who her donors are. And unlike her, I will be naming names. I will be coming with receipts. I will blow the lid on the whole thing, and I'll give her the Tucker Carlson treatment. But I'll wait and see how the Turning Point USA stream goes. I think they're going to do a good job, but if they don't, then I'll finish it for them.
Yeah, because with this, you can't approach it like it's a political debate. You can't do it like that. You can't. Well, I just want to say that no. You gotta bring it. Bring the receipts, bring the facts, but you gotta bring it. Little fa la la, little lulu. No. Smack down on every point that she made. Smack it down. Smack it down like a MMA fighter. Smack it down.
Nobody else will do it. Everybody else is afraid of Candace Owens. I'm not afraid of some ignorant black bitch.
Oh, damn, Nick. See, why we always gotta take it to the next level? Why we always gotta take it to the next level? It just can't stay within the realm of the argument. When you because I didn't see you address Tucker Carlson. When you addressed Tucker Carlson, did you say you white man? What is her race and her gender? Because that's what does that have to do with this conversation? Just expose her. See, this is why I say right message, wrong messenger, because it just can't be the message. It always got to be that little extra. Damn it. Jesus.
Okay. Everybody's afraid of a black Karen. I'm not. I'm a groiper.
I don't think Karen knows any bounds, you know. I don't think a Karen is bound by race. I think a Karen is a Karen, right? So black Karen, white Karen, Hispanic Karen, Asian Karen, mixed up Karen. Who cares? A Karen's a Karen.
Okay. Black bitches.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. All right, Nick. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. You see what I mean? I'm right there with you. And then you take that fork in the road. And I'm like, damn it. Damn it, man. Damn it. Anyway, speaking of Nick Fuentes, he was on Piers Morgan. And I'm just gonna play one video from the exchange, but they talked about a lot. They talked about the mustache man, they talked about the Holocaust, they talked about racism. You know, he said he's okay being referred to as a racist. You know, he told the quote, the quote from Kanye, you know, what Kanye told him about black people and all of that stuff. Listen, you know, but this moment in particular, I don't know why we needed just go.
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No.
Why do we need to know this? Okay, go ahead.
But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Really? Why are women difficult to be around? See, Pierce, that's the follow-up question right there. Why you didn't follow up with that?
Okay.
So.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. How are women difficult to be around? I want to know.
There's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
See, basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
And then Pierce goes on to say, "You never gotten laid or something like that." You know, a dig at him. Listen, I would rather be a 27-year-old virgin than to be running around here with 5 baby mamas and a whole bunch of drama. Being a virgin is not a bad thing for a man. It's not a weird thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not something you should discourage. What is this rush to turn men into these voracious sexual creatures? Like, what is the thirst? Like, if a man isn't out there smashing everything, get his hands on, there's a problem with him. What is that? I applaud him for being a virgin at 27. That's not easy to hold on to. I wish I was 27 saying, oh, yeah, I'm good. Like a virgin. I wish that was me. But no, you hold on to that, Nick. Hold on to that. You know, you can't just be giving that away to anybody. You know, like it's okay to teach your children some dick control. It's okay. You ain't got to poke and smoke just because it itch. Don't mean you gotta scratch it. Just because you don't gotta bite the donut to know it's sweet. Let's be clear. I don't hate Nick Fuentes because I don't know him. I don't know. It's not a hate thing, you know. This is why I can watch him and not be like, oh my God. You know, I don't care if he uses the N-word. Who cares? It's the word. I don't care. I don't care if he uses it negatively or he's using it social. I don't care. It's a freaking word. But being a virgin is not something you should be mocking peers or anybody else, you know, for that matter, in my opinion, you know. Because imagine, you know, especially those people out there with multiple baby mamas and STDs, imagine how great your life would be if you kept it in your pants. Right. And held it for the one God brought to your life. Imagine that, right? So I'm not knocking a man for being a virgin at 27. I actually commend it. I think that's an amazing thing. As far as women having the right to vote, I'm on. Yeah, because yeah, it's a little weird. I'm very clear that I would never, not never, but it would be a strong chance in hell for me to pull a lever for a female candidate in most capacities. There's only 2 women that I could think of that I would ever maybe pull a lever for office. Only 2 that I could think of off the top of my head. And yeah, even that would probably, it would also depend on who her opponent is and what they stand for. So yeah, you know, there's a lot of nuance there, but it's black and white. And I don't know if this dude is part troll, part, it's part rage bait. Like, I don't know what it is. You know, if he just says this to because, you know, it stings, right? When he says something that's really radical, it stings people, right? And so people are like, ah! And that's part of the show. That's part of the show. That's part of the performance, you know, to get the most visceral reaction out of you, right? And my point is, why give it to him? You know? Oh man. Sierra says, I will always be thankful that that my black father raised me instead of the white man who was a racist just like Nick. My daddy is one of the greatest black men I have ever met in my life. He's my best friend. That's what's up. It's all about individuals. It's not all blacks, all whites, all there's good and bad and crazy people amongst all of us. They played another clip during this where he talked about Jews, blacks, and what was the other group? I forgot the other group that he talked about. I think it was women. Yeah, it was women again. And basically said most blacks should be in jail and Jews own everything, you know, all the stuff. And then women just need to shut the hell up, right? And so and I was like, yeah, bro, you know, and like, and then if most blacks were in jail, you know, this would be this perfect nirvana. Most of the kill 'em, shoot 'em up shows that I've seen have been white people. So just because there's no more black people in society doesn't mean the murders and the killing will stop. Like black people, white people, Hispanic, everybody got killers amongst them. And then also, not all white people like each other. Y'all have clans too, right? Even like the country of Germany. Germany has a bunch of clans, right? So Germany not gonna go mess with France. France not gonna go mess with Poland. You know, y'all all different too. So y'all don't even like each other. So the nirvana you're trying to create, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Anyway, there's good and bad and shitty people amongst all of us. And the point is, call them out, and don't prop them up and don't build statues in their honor. That's the point. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching today. If you would like to support the channel, you can head on over to ajsrantroom.com. The Rant Christmas collection will be there for about another week or so. And then we will retire that for the next 12 months. But go check it out at ajsrantroom.com. There should be some merch at the bottom here. Probably not right now because I forgot to do it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to buy me a coffee, you can scan this QR code or go to buymeacoffee.com/AJsRANT. We also accept cash apps. You can scan that QR code or go to AJ's Rant. You'll see my logo, AJ's Rant Room. Do not go send your money to somebody else if you choose to do that. Anyway, also my podcast, my weekly podcast, The Rant Experience. That's the real fun AJ, the variety show. We cover politics, we cover pop culture, we cover hot topics, we cover uncomfortable conversations, we do music nostalgia, we do inspirational stuff, and we do comical stuff that I think is funny. Anyway, so if you haven't done so already, go subscribe, not subscribe, but go save the playlist on YouTube. Not on the other platforms yet. I haven't quite gotten there. I need a team. This is a lot of work. This social media stuff is a lot of work. Anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll be live on TikTok later. I don't know what time. Probably around 3 o'clock Central Time, maybe. Kind of, sort of. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. Peace.